Oh, I just realized. Entire screen. Check. Check. Okay, let's do this. Statistics, chapter 2, practice test. Good. Okay, we had already talked about all of this. Hopefully everybody was able to access the notes online. Yeah, at least tried to access the notes. Okay, I would like to work on 2002 free response 2. That's a good one to look at. 2002 FRQ2. Okay, so we have a manufacturer of boots. I think we've all kind of talked about this one. Let me just get the specifics down. There are 100 volunteers in Seattle where it rains frequently, no kidding. They're going to wear the boots for 6 months. At the end of 6 months, they will be returned to the company for water damage. Okay, part A. Let's get a way to do this. So the first question that you need to ask yourself is, what is the best type of design for this?
You could like have each subject for like one kind of each boot.
Okay. A matched pair own control. Good. A matched pair own control is a preferred method for experimental design. And why would you want to use it?
Because different amounts. So if they're walking the same amount,
okay, so let's talk about this in terms of variability, because that's really what we're looking for here. We use a matched pair because there's some source of variability, an extraneous variable. What is our variable that we're trying to minimize?
Distance walked.
Distance walked, okay. The amount of wear and distance walked varies between individuals. Since the amount of wear and distance varies between individuals. Okay, so in other words, a source of variability is individual variability. There is individual variability. In boot wear. Okay, so let's describe, how would we do this? What will we need to do?
You can randomly assign each subject a 5-digit ID number.
Assign each of the 100 volunteers a 5-digit random ID number.
Okay, then the lowest is your group 1.
Form group 1, while the remainder will form group
will receive a food, what is it? The new method of waterproofing on their left boot. And group 2 will receive the new method of waterproofing.
Group 1 will receive a new method boot
On their left foot, a new method left boot.
and a old method
Right boot.
on their right boot.
And then vice versa.
Boot on their foot. We'll reverse the boot.
In this particular area,
Mhm.
is it really necessary to randomize like which boot goes on which foot in this case? It's going to make a very marginal difference.
Is it?
Like,
You never know that.
People have to put more stress, put more weight.
I mean, I just was typing like the variability because the dog right.
So you have to nicely make yours as well.
You know why? It shows you know how to verify things.
Okay. After 6 months of wear, all volunteers will have their boots evaluated for water damage. Okay. Yes.
Could you also like share the people by how much time they spend outdoors and then like randomly allocate numbers to different groups and then give one group the treatment and one group the
The amount of time outdoors, yeah, I suppose that would work too. But I mean, you're kind of also, admitting that a person's individuality is going to be a source of variability by saying that. And if yeah, it would minimize, but usually if you can minimize using a match pair design, that would be more preferable. So what I'm saying is you're already admitting that there's an individual source of variability, and there's a way to use a match pair design. So it would be preferable just to use the match pair design rather than the own control method rather than the similarly grouped method. Okay? Yeah.
and also, I'm just not really sure that I understand the difference between an extraneous variable and a confounding variable.
Oh. Blacky's gonna hit somebody.
I think
What is
Did you say me?
What's the difference?
I think that makes that there is like an innumerable amount of extraneous variables that happen to be extraneous to what you're looking for. Like in this case, if somebody walked on carpet more frequently than they walked on hardwood, it might affect how the boots work. But I'd say that's fair enough that it's a counter experiment. Whereas like if someone weighs 500 pounds versus somebody weighs 50 pounds, that would be a counter. That would be a counter experiment.
But the extraneous variable can still confound the experiment, that's why you have.
Right, it's like all confounding variables are extraneous variables. The not all extraneous variables.
These confounding variables, they actually
Okay,
affect
that makes sense.
Woo!
Okay. In practice, though, we really don't talk. I mean, we've never had this much conversation about extraneous variables. We just pretty much called everything a confounding variable. Yes. You can just call it a confounding variable. That's
So
fine.
you do the same thing for both B and E? Yes. For at least part of it. You can look at the answer key and it's like, I mean,
For B, could your design be double blind?
yes. You can have the people
Yes.
evaluating the boots for damage, not know which was the new or old method.
How?
subjects themselves, you just don't tell them which boot is which. That's easy.
Okay, but what if they look different?
Which is they don't look at their eyes.
Okay, so the subjects
The appearance of the boot is not changed by the
need, what are we saying? The subjects of the
subjects
boots
of the experience will not be told which boot is which.
told which boot.
Or which boot receives which. Or they could not even tell them the method. They could simply say, yeah, we want you to test out these boots.
Yeah.
And not say
Right.
anything.
Right. Okay, so we got that. I mean, that would do that. That method would accomplish this. Okay.
Evaluators, so you take your
Okay, so you take your evaluators and you randomly split them into two groups, and then you
Don't do that.
know.
Don't split the evaluators.
Okay, because what I was gonna do
Because
is you split the boots in two, and you give one group of evaluators the old boots and one group for you, and then you don't tell them what they're testing.
um,
No, I just want to
The evaluators are aware which group gets which.
right. Well, I think before we talk about the treatment, though, let's talk about the boots. The idea here is that the evaluator doesn't know which boot is which. Right.
But if they don't know, but the manufacturers need to know. So
The manufacturer needs to know, right?
Because what I'm saying is if you didn't split the evaluators, then what, like, and they just started evaluating all foods, how would they?
Well, then
how would
you
keep
just-
track of which
you
ones?
just there are people who are which boots are from group 1 or group 2.
Yeah.
And then you can tell which one's the right or left boot.
And then you can tell whether the boots were on the right foot or left foot because they look different.
No, because they don't look
No,
different.
because the boot one is right foot and one is left.
Yeah, that part.
So they would just test them in two different groups. How would you mark the boots though? Is there
On the
like a
bottom.
serial number on the
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, just mark it as group one.
You can just identify.
Why not take a Sharpie and number every boot? And then based on those numbers, you will know which boot.
You can just write down.
And you put the
Write
micro.
group number. I would write 1 or 2 because.
No, don't write 1 and 2 because everyone will know that. Yeah, everyone will know that 1 is different than 2. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to, yeah, write a random.
When the manufacturer brings in a best test, and they just have it as like part of the footprint, because otherwise it could go.
Doesn't matter. Each boot will be marked with a random ID number identifying the boot as new method or old method. The evaluators will not know. Received which treatment. Okay. So all the odd boots are the new treatment, and all the even boots probably don't want to do that.
So this is still don't like blind it out, even though broke the stuff. So did the subjects know that there was any treatment at all, or they just don't know which group received which treatment?
They don't even need to be aware that they have different boots. Yeah. Just saying, we're giving you a pair of boots, you wear them. Okay.
If you for one of those two bandits on their left foot, then that means you have to know which shoe has them. If you're really evaluating.
No,
How else would you do
no, because the evaluator just needs to say, rate this water damage from 1 to 10. It doesn't matter what the boot is. He's saying,
If the shoe is on the right foot, you have to know which shoe it is to tell them which foot.
Oh, yes.
Well, because we give them a serial number at the very beginning.
Yeah, you give them each group is a serial number. So when they go into the store, they go, oh, group number 2654 has water damage, let's rate it 7.
Jean Valjean's like prisoner number? 24601. I always forget it, and I always. This would have been perfect. Boot number 24601. Boot number 24601. You received a new treatment.
The serial number wouldn't have to identify which group it was in. You just know that
No, but I think if you're forgetting something, if you how do you know
If you're the person, okay, what we need to realize here is the people evaluating the boots are not the people evaluating the experiment. They're not the same people. Okay, the people who are evaluating the boot, they're going to send the results to somebody else. The somebody else will know which boot received which treatment.
So it's like when you get the boots, someone has to know.
Someone has to know.
When that person doesn't have to be evaluated.
Better not be in the
That would be your boot guy.
Yeah. Anybody who has contact with the boots at the experimental level should not know which boot received which treatment. However, if you're going to take the data at the analysis level, then you will know which one's which. Those people know. The man behind the man. Okay? Have we talked this one through? Good. Okay, do you want to do the other free response problems, or do you want to do multiple choice, or do you want to do a smattering? How about this? You triage these right now, okay? Which ones would you like to look at? No. No random samples. We didn't talk a lot about question 13, so maybe we should talk about 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then committee for
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Bronx. If we haven't seen you already, we're here to talk to you about something very important, which is
Boots.
Huh?
Boots.
Meal ticket apps. This is important. The group of students that we have on our list are people that we have not given to or gotten a meal ticket app back from you. This is important because if you qualify, you do get a fee waiver on the AP. It's the difference between paying $90-something an exam and $5 for an exam, especially if you have multiple APs. That's a huge savings for your parents. So we're going to call your name. Mr. Hassan will give you stuff. Please take them home, get them signed, even if you don't think you qualify. Get it brought in to the main office. We want to account for everybody. Okay, we don't want to be hawking you all the time. We're going to be hawking you all month. So just do it, get it over. Here's our group. Trisha Dutton, Melanie Mizushima, Andrew Firdosopoulos. I was just going to say, Mom, I'm going to give it to her. Give it to her, please. Annalisa Venolia, Maxime Yupman, who's in the back there, and Hannah Zager, who's right there. Okay, everybody else, we have some accounting for.
Who's the back?
In the back. Okay, you two we got earlier, right?
Even we didn't get, you think we should have given to?
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
I really want to click this one right here.
I'll leave those I'll leave those.
What is going on here? The rust. This guy's good. I know that guy. He's good. It's not what I thought it would be. That's pretty good too. It's good. That's good. No. No.
Oh my god. I was born.
We gotta stop. Maybe we'll do more later. Okay, so 13. Here's the idea. Can we read the first 10 digits here? We got 8, 81507, and 1. Next. Keep reading him. 2, 4.
102.
Okay.
560278.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so if we're looking at a random digit table, each one of these numbers is going to represent an individual's ID. If your individual's ID are 2-digit numbers, then you're going to chunk them in groups of 2. So for example, for the 2-digit ID number, we're looking at individual 81, then we're looking at individual 50, then we're looking at individual 72. That space is only there to help your eyes track. It's not there for any other reason. After 72, the next one is going to be 71, 02, and I think you get the idea. So if you're doing 3-digit numbers, prisoner 815, prisoner 072, 710, 256. Okay, so how does it work for these guys? Well, these guys are only 1-digit numbers, so we only have to look at the first digit. So the first digit is 8. So that person's going to be in which group? That's Tang, yeah. Which group is he? Medication or placebo? Okay, so the medication group. Eradication group is number 8, which was Tang, you said? Who is next? One is Blumenthal. One of my wife's best friends is named Blumenthal. Yeah, Blumenthal. What's next? 5? House. How about 0? Is there a 0? Skip. Okay, you don't even have to write that. Just skip it. What's the next one? 7? Pavlikova. Right, is that enough people for my? Okay, and so everybody else is going to be in the placebo group, right? Placebo group. So it looks like the first person in the placebo group is 2. Who's 2? Costello. Who's next? What number? 3. Duval. Next is 4. Next is 6. Long. 7, 8. Is that everyone? All right, so that's our placebo group. Now, when this was a test question, we got this wrong all the time, because they would answer with Tang, Blumenthal, House, and Pavlikova, which is the opposite of the correct answer. The correct answer is Costello, Duval, Fan, and Long, because they're asking for the placebo group. Okay? It's highly doubtful you will receive a question using a random digit table. Like I was trying to say before, it's kind of an old-fashioned way of doing stats without technology. You always have it as a backup, so if you're, lost in the woods and you needed to form an experimental group, you could do this if you had a random digit table. The chances of that happening are very low. Yeah.
314.
Okay. Is there any other questions on 13 before we go to 14? Okay, let's look at MC14. 14, sickle cell disease is a painful disorder of red blood cells that mostly affects blacks in the United States. To investigate whether the drug hydroxyurea can reduce pain associated with sickle cell disease, a study by the National Institute of Health gave the drug to 150 sickle cell sufferers and a placebo to another 150. The researchers then counted the number of pain episodes for each subject. What was the response variable? What are we measuring?
Pain they experience.
Yeah, you got to think about this. It's got to be something that you're counting. What are you counting? The number of episodes of pain. Okay, we're going to do our math on numbers, right? So it's got to be something countable. So response variable. Something countable. So our response variable here will be the number of episodes pain. Because you got to remember, at the end of this experiment, you're going to compute an average, or you're going to compute a percentage. You're going to compute something. So you're going to need a number for that.
So when asked for a response, it's solely asking for the response variable.
Yeah. Okay. Can we look at a couple more 24601s? 3 minutes and 38 seconds. Kind of on a bad day. Huh? Probably the bootleg recordings. You're not allowed to record while you're in there.
I'd rather not have anything that has.
Well, they just want to, make fun of the person going 24601. Okay. What else do you want to look at? Yeah. Yeah.
So apparently the answer is it's both a match pair design and an observational study, and I don't understand how it could be a match pair design.
Okay, that's an interesting one. What are the individuals in this? In this study, from who are we taking?
The cities.
The cities. Yeah, we're taking. The cities are our individuals, right? Our experimental units. So we have to measure the cities twice for this to be a match pair design. Yeah. So for example, we're matching Chicago in 1990 with Chicago in 1994.
So experimental design, because match pair design was an experimental design, but it can also apply to an observational study.
Yeah.
Blocking can also apply too, right? Because if you're just recording the measurements with the electrical
Yeah.
the responses for, say for example, and you just analyze them separately.
Yeah, so you can still, when we say experimental design, it could be that you're using the data from an observational study. Still some kind of design. Okay. Yeah.
I'm too away. The match pair design if you're not randomizing the order in which the data is collected based or whatever, because you can't do 1994.
You're right. You're right. Which is kind of the limitation of using an observational study rather than an experiment. Your options for randomization are practically non-existent.
So it's still matched pair, even though it doesn't.
Still a match pair design, just not an experiment. Any other ones? Clam chowder? How about University of Pennsylvania? Actually, you have the sketch. There's not much to sketch, right? Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, so for that one.
Mhm.
So you have two different sets of independent variables.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking for like what's the best combination that you have to have? You do all different possibilities. So like if you have 3 variables, you have 9
Yeah.
different groups.
Yeah. Well, 3 variable, or that'd be 3 of variable 1 and 3 of variable 2. Or 3 different levels of variable 1, 3 different levels of variable 2.
You have to do combinations.
Yeah. Unless some of those combinations are not worth looking at. Okay. Anything else you guys want to do? Are we all kind of talked out here? Okay. I'm going to shut this off. We do have all the 24601s.
Because that's the screen, and it's broadcasting the screenshot.
Hello again.
Are you waiting for it to stop?